global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In 2019, a lot of people in the corridor of power insisted that the church should fall into the company of the company of Allied Matters, that's CAMA, CAMA, so that taxation can take in, so that they can follow the laws of the land, and there will be even taxation. A lot of persons are of the opinion that the church in Nigeria is fantastically very rich, and don't forget that Nigeria is heavily indebted. We're in their need of funds that can help ease the repayment schedule to repay all our outstanding loans. And now looking at the church being exempted, prompted that the church should actually fall in line, so that the church should also help out in repaying repayment schedule. But now Bishop David Oyedepo has reacted to this and is saying it shouldn't be allowed. The church is a spiritual body. Okay, the church is the church of Christ. It doesn't need to be answerable to the law of the land in that context. All right, but it's not left for you to decide which is what. As the presidency have reacted to the fact that Bishop David Oyedepo have questioned the fact that the church should be among the CAMA, that's the Company and Allied Matters Act. Well, Laurretta Onochie took to his social media. That's the social media aide of President Muhammadu Buhari, has criticized the presiding bishop of Living Faith Church worldwide, talking about Bishop David Oyedepo, over his disapproval of the Company and Allied Act being applied in churches. Oyedepo had told his congregants on Sunday that the church is God's heritage on earth, and that it works on the pattern delivered by God, not the pattern of man. However, reacting to his statement on Monday, Mrs. Onochie, in a brief statement, told the popular cleric that he would have to create his own country where he can live by his own laws. Okay, he said, I hope this is not true. I'm going to read her tweet. He said, I hope this is not true. If it is, Oyedepo will have to manufacture his own country and live by his own laws. As long as he lives and operates within the entity called Nigeria, he will live by Nigerian rules and laws, and he will do as he's told by the law of. Then she now did the emoji, face rolling the eyes. Enough of lawlessness, she said. Okay, now she went further to explain one or two other things. She said, look, Oyedepo's church is regulated in the UK by the Government Charity Commission. He's not telling you that in UK it's regulated. Why is it now the head office is in Nigeria? Why shouldn't we regulate you if the UK is regulating your church in United Kingdom, and you did not remember that is the God's heritage on earth? Now UK is regulating you, you're okay with it, so why shouldn't Nigeria regulate you? That's what she's technically saying. And she now went for that to expose some certain things that most Nigerians don't know, including me, myself. He said Oyedepo's church is regulated in the UK by the Government's Charity Commission, but he promotes lawlessness by bullying the Nigerian government. He said World Mission Agency Winners Chapel International said in their analysis they have actually found out that Oyedepo earns, that's the Winners Chapel in UK earns income is 10.2 million pounds that they earn, that's their regular income, and they spend 7.7 million pounds. Okay, he said, but their charity number, because they're fully registered, is 1134421, and the company number is 0699483 And now she's saying if that can be done in UK, by all means Nigeria should follow suit. And that may not all go well if you ask me, because one, we are used to, if for any reason they can't regulate the church in Nigeria, I'm afraid that's the final bus stop, because the last time I checked, that's the only body in Nigeria that is immune to some of these taxation, regulation, and all that. So to speak, they still have this reference for the church. At least it's the church of God, and they speak the mind of God. touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm and all that. But it looks like that era is about to change. But Nigerians are taking to their social media handle to react. Don't forget that Nigerians, when it comes to religion, we are divided in lines, and there's some religions you don't touch, and there are some persons you also are careful not to mention their matter. Well, let's hear what Nigerians are saying. This one here is saying the intention behind the CAMA is actually bad. Now, that's another thing. If it was just regulation, we have no problem. But we all know that in Nigeria, sometimes the regulation, they will so bend your hand before you know it, you are at the mercy. We shouldn't always be at the mercy. The law is meant to guide us, not to break us. But I fear that if CAMA is put in place, not just for churches now, for Muslims, for also mosques, I fear that it may be used as time goes on to break the church and not to guard it. But let's continue. I'm just saying mine now, but let's also feel the pulse of Nigerians over this CAMA issue. Why the church should apply. You may differ, of course, but let's feel the pulse of Nigerians. This one here is saying they will take over churches. Buhari has brought change indeed. This one here says one thing is sure, the church will always win. This one here says the woman is soft. Oh dear, I won't take that. This one here is saying my Yoruba brothers, see Onochie, chai. This one here says it's high time churches and mosques start paying tax. What's wrong in getting registered with CAMA? We all know the lady that replied. So it's better to ignore her utterances. I don't know what she's trying to say here. This one here is saying Oga Oyedepo open all the Christians up. Oga Oyedepo upon all the Christians killed in southern Kaduna. You didn't condemn it. You are interested in reopening church cause tithes and offering is a goal. This one here says, as much as I do support the freedom of religion, they must operate within the law of the country. Nigeria is not China or Russia, but these religious felons have brought shame and exploitation to their countries, even worse than foreign religions. They copy and model themselves after. What values have they brought other than money into the foreign accounts and private planes idling at the airport? Oh dear, Nigerians are really beginning to open up and talk so much. Let's continue and see one or two other respondents on this. This one here is saying, and this is actually quite an interesting one. This one here is saying, federal government will now have power to replace church board of trustees. Headsmen will soon start being heads of churches, but God passed them. And that's true, because if for any reason, I honestly hope that, I don't know how this is. You see what we are saying when they say everybody should gather together and speak with one voice. It looks as if, no, we are too immune. I'm not against the church praying. Why, of course. But when you begin to think that, it doesn't concern me, eventually it will get home. This country, Nigeria, is for all of us. So we all need to put our hands together, because if you keep quiet to one, it's just a matter of time they're driving home. I'm not saying that church shouldn't pay tax. Well, one or two persons here have said that who says the church does not pay tax, that the church does what we call returns. And those returns, somehow it is remitted to the federal government. I don't know how true that is. Okay, but then this one here is saying, all these charlatans pressing GMB's incompetence button should know that they can't force their dictatorship on us. We own Nigeria and not the tenants in power. This one here is saying, this one here is saying, from the time immemorial, Bishop David Oyedepo has been one of the people speaking against insecurity and killings on this country. So do your research and stop displaying half-baked knowledge. And that's true. If you check some of his Shiloh messages and all that, you will just realize that he keeps opening it. He says it. In fact, it's almost too bold, okay, over that matter. This one here is saying, a key element of that law should not be missed. The CAC cannot exercise these powers without an order of court. This one here is saying, this CAMA registration and taxation should have been implemented a long time ago. This one here is saying churches don't pay tax or GA. Okay, so people are replying the guy that says UK churches do returns. This one here is saying any religious leader that refuses to obey the law should be prosecuted. They have their churches in US and UK, obey all their laws, but refuse to do the same here in Nigeria. Well, Nigerians have started quoting some scriptures. They say the Bible speaks decisively on this issue. Romans 13 verse 1 to 6 say, obey the government, for God is the one who has put them there. There is no government anywhere that God has not placed in power. So those who refuse to obey the law of the land and refusing to obey God, and the punishment will follow. This is serious. Nigerians are even quoting scriptures today, but that's where we're going to wrap it up. What's your take on this? Are you for? Are you against? Do you honestly insist that the church should be under CAMA, or do you think it's another way for the church to be controlled and brought down to or humble the church? Let's interact in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more updates on this and much more.